Guys, so this is the last instructional video for Unit 6. You're doing really well. You've learned all the parts of a circle and how to find the area of a circle. You have figured out how to find area of a square, triangles, rectangles, parallelograms, trapezoids. And so you're doing great. So how about find the area of this shape? Yes, do you think you could do that? Do you think you could find the area of this shape? Well, guess what? You could. It's if you can do all those other things I just told you about, you can totally find the area of this composite figure. Composite figure is a figure that's irregular shape. It's composed of many other shapes that you know. So let's find those shapes. For example, I brought my handy dandy little scissors here. And so I could take this and cut off the top. And here is a half circle. You found how to find a half circle. Area equals pi r squared divided by 2. So we could find that. And then, well, what is this? This is a square. I could find the area of this square. Base times height. And what is this? Oh my gosh, you know what? This is a trapezoid. One set of parallel lines. And there's the height. There's the base 1, base 2. Or instead of finding the area of a trapezoid, maybe you didn't like that formula, you could find the area of a rectangle and then find the area of this triangle. Once you have found the area of the triangle, the rectangle, the square, and the half circle, then you would add them all up. Whoops, this kind of slid. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to have to find what shapes are in there and then work out each formula and then add up all the pieces. Okay, so let's get started. This is, again, what we call, these shapes are called a composite shape. Okay, so let's look at our first composite shape. Let's see, you have two choices. You actually could do this two different ways. So let's see, I think I'm just going to go ahead and close this up here. Now the top one here, it's pretty easy to see. Area equals base times height, and the base is 13, the height is 6. And so what is 13 times 6? 13 times 6 is 18, 6, 78. All right. So that shape is 78. Now, find the other shape is a little bit more challenging, okay? Now I know that on this shape, and I'll make my lines go the opposite direction, that one side is 7. But what is this down here? Okay, now pay close attention to this. If this whole line is 13, and this little teeny part right here is 8, to find this part, I'm going to go 13 minus 8, and I'll get 5. So that means that this is 5. It's 7 times 5. All right, area, base times height, 7 times 5. The answer to that is 35. But we're not done. We need to add these two now together. We have a 78. We have a 35. It's 13, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the area of this composite shape equals 113 meters. And don't forget to square it, squared. All right, let's look at this next one. What do we have here? Okay, if this is 4, then this is 4. I can see the triangle is super easy. Let's just go ahead and do it. Base times height, 8 times 4, or 4 times 8. It doesn't really matter. 32. Okay, we have the triangle. Now let's do the circle. So did they give us the diameter or did they give us the radius? You're correct. This is the diameter. So let's see. Diameter divided by 2 is the radius. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So my radius is 2. Now we use the area of a circle formula. Area equals pi times radius times radius. What else? What else do I need to do to that formula? You're right. I need to divide it by 2. Don't forget to do that. Oh my gosh. So many of you will forget. All right. So what we got here? We got 2 times 2 because that's the radius. The radius is 2. And then I'm going to divide the whole thing by 2. Okay. Now look. This is just like any other fraction. I could actually go ahead and divide these two, which just makes them go away. 3.14 divided by 2, times 2 is 6.28. But I'm not done yet. I still need to add these two parts. So watch this. This is something else. We have a 6.28, and I'm going to add 32. Well, guess where that decimal is? It's behind it. So don't line it up with the 28. 8, 2, 8, 3. Now, the very first week of school, we learned how to multiply, divide, add and subtract with decimals. So that is one of the reasons is look at how often we're using these skills. And that's centimeters squared. Let's keep going. Look at this shape. Wow, we have 3 shapes here. We already talked about this before. The rectangle is pretty easy. There's our rectangle. Area equals base times height, which is going to be 4 times 10, which is going to be 40. Okay, let's look at the triangle. If this side is 10, then this side is 10. Here's the right angle. So base times height divided by 2. That means that I am not going to use the 11.2. It is an extra number. I don't need it. I just use a 10 and a 5. 10 times 5 divided by 2 is 50 divided by 2, which is 25. Okay, I've got a 40, I have a 25. What do I have left? I have that circle. Now, if this is 4, then this is 4. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you it's the same for number 2. So what was the area of that half circle in number 2? 6.28. Let's steal that number. I don't see any reason why we should do it again. So we have 6.28 for the circle. Area equals 6.28. 40 plus 25 plus 6.28. Decimal, 0, 0. I don't have to do the zeros. I'm just kind of letting you see. I'm lining everything up, lining them up. We have 8, 2, bring the decimal down, 11, carry the 1, 5, 6, 7. So that is area equals 71.28 inches squared. All right. The next problem is different. This is a shading problem. This is where you have to find the shaded area. Now we have a big rectangle, and it is to find the area of that rectangle, I'm going to have to multiply the base times the height, which is, sorry about that, 12 times 10. No, I was looking at something else, which is 120. That is not the answer to the question, because if you look at that rectangle a second time, there's a white area in the middle. It's not shaded. So we have to subtract that white triangle from the shaded one. So let's find the area of the white triangle. 7 times 2 or 2 times 7, it doesn't really matter. Now, I'm going to take the shaded area. I'm going to subtract the area that is not shaded. And now I have that the shaded equals 106 meters squared. All right. Don't forget those shaded ones. You're going to always be subtracting on those shaded ones. Okay. I'll see you later. If you have any questions, just ask. Bye-bye.